Hey guys, back on the 2015 Chrysler Town & Country with the 3.8 liter. If you needed that oil change, motor mounts, tranny mounts, etc., click on my name underneath this video for all my other how-to videos and you'll find it. Now we're going to be doing some struts and we're going to be doing some lower control arms. Right now on this video we'll do the strut. We're going to start off by, what size wrench you got there?
It's a 13.
13 millimeter. You got 3 nuts back there on top of the strut. Here's a better view of it right here. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to pull those 3 off and then look up underneath here. We've got the tire off the ground. We've got it on a jack stand and the jack's still there too, just in case. So we got both of these nuts here that we'll be taking off. We're going to have a line here. This brake line that we're going to take off, that's going to be a 10 millimeter behind it. We'll just pull it off and set it aside. Take these apart and show you what we got to do with them. Okay guys, so we got the 13 millimeters up top off. We got the 21 millimeters here, both of them on the struts. Now, the back of this torsion bar here, you're going to have an 18 millimeter. Put a wrench on that, then hit this with the socket and drag it off. We got our brake line here, 10 millimeter, which I have already broke loose. I hope you can hear me over that air compressor. So there's that. We'll set that aside, and we'll just set that there. Now, in order to get this bar off completely, put the jack up underneath your lower control arm bushing, and just take it up until this is supported evenly. Now we'll go ahead and pull that out. Now we have that bar up and out of the way. It's always good practice to go ahead and slide the nut back on where you took it off. This way you remember where it goes. See that there? We got a Strut fitting, so we'll grease that up before we put it back together. Now the tension is on the strut, so we want to go back down with the jack a hair and let that jack come down, take all the tension off of it. Go ahead and drop it down. All right. And now we'll go ahead and get these 2 bolts out here. Notice how they're tapered on the end? That's so you can smack them with a big hammer. Let's knock those through. Okay, so they're stuck in there pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and run them back out just a hair. You'll see that there's no nut on there, so you're like, why are we doing this? But the reason is because it's bound up in there. So we'll bump it. Loosen it up a little bit, and now she'll tap out with the hammer. I tried to hit it with a hammer and she didn't want to move, but see how that one's already starting to move? So we're good to go. Let's get those out of there and get that strut down on the ground. So now we got the strut up and out of there. Let's take it over here and lay it on the ground. Now, there's a tool that you have to use to compress these if you went cheap and you didn't buy the spring. It's not cheap, I guess. Most of them don't come with it. So let's pull the strut out of the box so you can see that, and I'll show you the tool that we got to compress that down. That tool can be rented at any auto parts store. I do a lot of these, so I actually own one. So let's get that out of the box and tighten down that spring. Okay guys, so we got the strut out, and I'm using the strut compressor tool right here. They just clamp down and hold the edges of the spring there on both sides. Just line them up the best you can. Take them down and just tighten those up now with the impact, or your wrench, or whatever you're going to use. And that'll squeeze those together. You can get this tool at any auto place. They rent them. And now we can throw a socket on the front there. We're taking off this nut here, and we're going to take off that cap. We can put it on the new one with the spring, and you'll be able to remove this with these still clamped to it. Then after you get it on there and line it up, you can run them back out. That top nut off, wherever it went here, right there, and all that came apart. We'll put it back together on the next one. So we can pull the spring right out, pull your cover off, set that aside, grab the new one, put your boot on, and we'll reassemble the opposite way. Okay, before I throw that together, I just wanted to show you guys this real quick because I didn't show you. The bottom part of this spring, you can see where it sat right here. So make sure that this part of the spring here is sitting there when you assemble it. And the other thing is, so that goes on, then the boot goes on, and if I can get it on here, and then the spring goes on. But the other thing is these pieces here, you want to make sure you get this reassembled correctly too. So this is the same thing. There's an end where the metal stop, the spring part, sits in. Make sure you get that sit flat, or it's not going to line up when you put the strut on. So you're going to put that on. There's a, right there, bearing that's going to sit on that. You can actually put that in the last piece, upside down, just like that. This top part should spin. So then you're going to reassemble this onto there, and of course it'll sink past the nut, and my battery's about to die, so I'm trying to get this done. And so then this let me turn this around so you can see it. So that seats on there. Then this seats up against there. And then you put your nut on there to hold it. Make sure you have your washer as well. It's sitting here somewhere. Actually, I think that's the one there with the flat washer. And so then you can reassemble it and then put it back in the car and run everything backwards the way it is. I don't think that you'll need that because you can just stop and go back. And again, my battery is about to die. So, and then we're just going to reassemble it backwards. So, if you need that lower control arm or any of those mounts, please click on my name underneath this video for all my other how-to videos and you'll see those. When I do the other side, I'll try to make, instead of putting a video together to disassemble this, I'll put a video together to assemble it. But I got to get this charged up. So I hope this video helps you out. Please click like, please click subscribe. And again, my name under this video sends you to all my other how-to videos. And as always, guys, enjoy.